Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I can't.
It was good. It was a fine episode, but
I think the beginning was great and the end was great. It did like a little like whatever in the middle in certain parts where there were like some revelation.
Yeah, oh, for sure. As far as that goes, absolutely, for sure. I think also I'm feeling hump day real hard today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it hit me right after we sat down and started watching TV. I was like, oh, Wednesday.
Anyway. At least it's closer to Friday.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate it. No, I shouldn't let that affect. It's just this, 9 o'clock TV, and we got to come up here and talk about it, and I got to get jazzed. And actually, it's a little bit hard to get jazzed about the major thing that happened in this episode, which is the very serious thing about...
That is true.
About Gwen.
A lot of real in the reality.
Yeah.
Not that it's... A lot of times it's just petty drama. Like, I seriously thought when they met up at the salt mines that they're going to say like, oh gosh, the trip, I was so tired. No, sorry. Salt mines was Heather and Lisa. Lisa and Bronwyn, I thought they were going to be like, oh, so it was so taxing last week and the trip. But like to go into this, so I still can't believe that happened. And I know it's a small Mormon world and, only so many people in Salt Lake and it's maybe like a big small town, perhaps. But it was just really like, oh, Lisa knows Gwen's father's family.
Well, and I think also just in the community, if you're Mormon, like I'm sure if I were involved in the Mormon community here in California, like, or to go to the temple in Oakland, that, we'd probably know more people. Yeah, indirectly. Yeah. We'd probably somehow know Lisa Barlow. And you'd be like, oh, great, just what I wanted.
Yeah.
I honestly, when it comes down to it, I don't have any, it seems really weird that she has one photo and it happened to be on her phone to show her at the airport. I'm just saying that seemed a little convenient.
Yeah. I don't think it's bogus though. I think a lot of times there are a lot of things that are set up, but it just seemed like this just happened. And, it's like the one photo that she has on her phone that she's shown her daughter before. So I didn't question it.
I don't think it's bogus. I think that when Bronwyn came on the show, they were like, oh, and then somehow we'll introduce this and we'll find a way to make it.
I don't think they did. I think this fell into their laps, honestly.
I hope that's what happened. It just, and given that they involved her daughter, but also the fact that her daughter was like so camera ready and like ready to get, go, it seems like something they may have discussed beforehand. But that's just me being cynical. I would like, either way, whether they planned it or not, it's still a trippy sort of thing.
I don't think it was planned. I thought it was very surprising that, well, also too, I don't recall her saying that Gwen's father had died, just that he didn't want anything to do with her.
Right.
So when it got deeper into it that he died, and then, even before that, his family, being a fine, upright Mormon family, didn't want to acknowledge this pregnancy and the baby. And she was like, well, fine, I'll just raise it by myself. And, it was probably pretty tough on her at 19. And I thought that was the end of the story. So to hear like he had passed away, that's another layer to it. And then the family never contacted, their granddaughter or their, it's a lot of layers there.
Yeah, very deep. It's not the sort of thing, especially the way they just went, bam, here you go.
Right into it. I was like, where are we going with this? I'm like, oh, we're going here?
Yeah, it was just went straight to the funniest thing happened at the airport. And I thought it was going to be like, oh, we found out that we're cousins, just like Heather and, something stupid like that. But when it turned out to be this heavy thing, I was like, oh, okay.
Lisa was crying real tears. Like Lisa says she's crying and she like pokes her eyeballs a lot, but those were actual tears. Her makeup got messed up. Like she was feeling the feels and wasn't acting, because I know Lisa Barlow acting. So I was like, that's surprising in itself as well. But
what's surprising to me is how your heart warmed for Lisa Barlow this episode.
It didn't warm. No, it didn't warm. But I just again, I will say, right is right, wrong is wrong. And, certain things I didn't agree that were said or, and we'll get to those. Yeah. But yeah, it was a very surprising thing. And then for Gwen, that conversation, that was really heavy too. And, I think they're just all trying to process it. And it's just, it's a lot,
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say that if that text that the family did send to Gwen was like, we're ready, we'd be happy to meet her if she's ready to accept us. Like, it's just like to go that long and then put strings and conditions on it. It just seems really screwed up. So I think Gwen, I think the healthy thing, I think there's a healthy amount of cynicism being applied on their end to say, like, they've had nearly 18 years to come see me, and now they're, wanting me to come see them because they feel like it, Well,
also the idea of like accepting us. It should just be like, we don't know each other. Let's meet and see where this goes. But to like say we need to go into this with you accepting us is a really interesting way of phrasing.
I mean, I'm wondering it's because Bronwyn is so clearly not Mormon, and then, Gwen is probably not Mormon. And then it's like this whole thing of, we are Mormon, and if that's gonna be a problem for you guys, like, we haven't changed. Like, we're still devoutly Mormon.
See, I thought it was more so accepting the fact that we didn't want to have anything to do with you, and just like, that
could be. See, I'm curious on a somewhat of a side,
judging them for not having anything to do with her for 18 years. Yeah.
I'm somewhat of a side note. I'm curious because I forgot that Bronwyn met her husband in San Francisco. And then she mentioned her dad was the recorder at the temple in Oakland. And then I guess she did say she met him at BYU. I was wondering, because she said that his parents are from a small town. I was wondering if it was a small town here in California.
No, she went to BYU.
I know, but doesn't mean that he's from BYU or from Utah.
But he is. That's where his parents are from.
They didn't say that.
They did. They're from a small town.
They didn't say small town in Utah. They just said a small town.
No, they said a small town.
No.
A Mormon town. Yeah.
Well, there can be small Mormon towns other places than Utah.
I mean,
Idaho, California.
I thought it was, I
think we're supposed to assume, and I think that it's probably the case, but I'm just curious because, when Bronwyn said, reminded me that she's from the Bay Area, and then, it's just like, oh, I didn't think about these, things. And yeah, it's just curious to me.
Well, also too, it's like, I mean, like, they could have moved at any time, but like, it's made sense that Lisa would know them from Utah.
True.
So,
true as well.
We might need to like,
when we're done, you betcha. We should make a correction to yesterday's episode. If you listen to Applebee's closes at midnight around us, and Rebecca Minkoff is 42.
Right.
So, or was it 43?
42.
42. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, just things we meant to investigate. So
yeah.
We'll update you on our OC episode tomorrow about whether or not, whether I'm right or he's right. No, it was either way a very deep, thing that you don't get every time on Housewives. So I think
a lot of actual real stuff and not just like petty, like you didn't invite me to a party stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of thing that I think, they want every year. They're like crossing their fingers. Hopefully we get something like this. And they do. And, it's going to be, I'm sure, a few more episodes, but I don't think it's going to be a focal point of anything. They're going to deal with it and process it and go from there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happening.
Yeah.
So we have a lot, as you're all aware, and the cat's on the ledge, and we're afraid.
It's very distracting.
Angie, come down here, Kitty. Come here.
What are you doing?
Come here. Nope, don't do that.
Oh, gosh.
She's doing that whole head rubbing thing on the ledge. Like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Gabs. Do not do that.
Kitty, come here. Come here. Come on. Oh, yeah, this side's better.
Dude.
Come on.
We're going to have to cut this.
No, this is gold. Yeah, we'll cut gold. Let's just ignore her. Okay. So anyway, I mean, it's interesting to see what happens. They really didn't indicate as to which way they were leaning. I guess we do have to tune in next week to find out if they're actually going to meet with them. I imagine they will.
I think, and her daughter, rightfully so, is just kind of conflicted of like, they're putting restrictions or like putting parameters around this. But then I also too want to meet them because I want to know about my dad because there's so little that they have more information than her mom does. So it's like, you don't want to necessarily deal with these people. Don't necessarily think that it's going to become, an actual relationship. But no. Sorry, I got struck with.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
So I think her thinking process is, I want to know more about my dad, more about where I come from, but I'm kind of skeptical about these people. But they hold all the information. They hold the keys to.
Right.
So I gotta have to deal with them.
I think, oh, she's back. The cat jumped
good.
back.
She's fine.
All right. Sorry. We'll stop being distracted now. She's. Woo. We're gonna have to, when we actually have more than 20 listeners, we'll have to like give a tour of the loft so people can see why we get so damn worked up when the cat's like meow meow, I'm away.
Dude, we might have mentioned this, that she fell off the ledge at one point like 2 Christmases ago, and if for the Christmas tree, it would have been bad.
Yeah, I know. Oh God. Oh.
Thank God for ginormous Christmas trees that we overpay for every year.
Every year. I think back to Gwen, and I keep thinking of the Margaret show. Hi, my name is Gwen. I'm here to wash your vagina. So anyway, I love that skit. Anyway,
You have to cut that out.
no, we're not cutting that out at all. Gwen and there's because Margaret show does it 2 ways. She has,
Okay.
my name is Gwen.
Okay.
No, then she also
Okay.
goes,
No.
hi, my name is Gwen.
Okay, we got it. We got it.
Stop. Anyway, I think, I'm not the closest with my dad, but I know who he is, and I've seen pictures of him. I've met him. I've talked to him numerous times, etc. And he's not dead, So I think, where my father, I never met him, never really got a chance to know him, and really don't know what he looked like. I think I would probably be more curious to go find out. Like, even going to meet her grandparents, she can, go through a trove of photos of this person that she's never seen before. And I think that alone would be worth, even if it's an awkward, uncomfortable kind of visit, I think that would be worth it just to kind of get that. And you could go into that and never, be like, okay, it was nice to meet you, and then never see the people again unless you really, truly wanted to. And that would be up to them to, offer, not incentive to do so, but, be decent people who are worth getting to know,
Yeah, you don't know. And they might also be intimidated or like worried about the whole like reality show part of it too.
Right.
If they were like a quiet, private family.
Or maybe they're like, what? There's going to be cameras there? We'll be on the show.
Yeah, I think it's more so like, I did. Because they never wanted people to know that, there was this kid that happened out of wedlock. And, that's something too. It's like they might feel shame and might want to just keep this on the hush.
Oh.
Now, it's not on the hush.
Well, and the fact that they're keeping out their names. Yeah, so I doubt we'll see them.
Yes. No, they're not going to be on camera.
Yeah.
As it all happened. I'm sure we'll get an update of the reunion, but...
I just remembered the names are being beeped. And like, that's clearly what's going on
they're
here.
like, no, don't mess with this Mormon show.
So where else did we go? They went to the spa before the salt place, didn't they? Weren't they someone getting rubbed down?
That was Lisa. And,
oh, you're right.
Lisa and
oh, right. Because I remember sitting there thinking, these poor women who were like doing their pedicure, who are just like they're
look at pedicure. It was just like a massage.
Yeah, but they're like both bawling their eyes out in front of them. It's like, can you imagine being at work that day? I'm going to work. Oh yeah. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake are coming in. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. Like we're filming.
Right.
And you're just rubbing someone's feet and just like, oh,
this is really emotional and sad.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, no, it wasn't. We didn't sign up for tears.
So segueing into the salt mines with Lisa and Heather.
Yeah.
So this is where I have to defend Lisa, and I don't like it. But again, right is right, wrong is wrong. Angie shouldn't have brought up Lisa's son and saying that she, at least I'm a good mom. I don't. No, those weren't the words. I don't want to basically saying like inferring that it was not a good thing that Lisa lets her son game till an all hours in the day.
But maybe she's just concerned that he's sitting too damn close to the TV.
Yes.
Maybe it's for his own eyesight that Annie's concerned.
The editors, like showing that like one clip of Lisa being like, "Hey, Henry," and he's like not paying attention because he's gaming. So, but anyway, that's her household. That's her business. She shouldn't have brought that up. Just like Lisa shouldn't have brought up Electra in any form. Leave the kids out of it. So it was wrong when Lisa did it last episode. It's wrong with Angie did it this episode. Who loved it was freaking Heather Gay, who couldn't wait to trip off to the salt mines and tell Lisa the whole story.
Right.
Because she wants to stir up some ish.
Yeah. Yes. First off, I don't think there's anything wrong with people playing video games till hours of the night. That was something that I think a lot of people do in general. It's.
I think that was a kid.
When I was probably that kid's age.
No, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying where people could go with that, and not where to go with it, but like it's just making it seem like you're letting your kid stay up late.
You're letting it. I don't know. Like a lot of people have negative views about video games, and this is where I very much am like, some people go bowling, some people play video games, some people have hobbies.
I think it's a negative thing. I'm just saying that like the way that Angie was throwing it out there,
that was bad, definitely. Yeah. And also, two wrongs don't make a right. Like you don't bring up Electra. I mean, also you don't name your kid Electra either. I mean, it's
a fine name.
It's fine. It's reminded me of Kathy, the comic strips dog. Her name was Electra.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why I know that. I wish I didn't, but I do. Shouldn't have brought it up at all. But you're right. I mean, Heather's bothering me so much. She's starting to bother me.
And that's why, and we'll get to it at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But she could not, I don't understand where Heather is coming from of like, Angie's being so mean to you, and there's more to it. It's like, really, there's not more to it. She's just annoyed how Lisa's treating people, including her, and she's been I totally believe that Angie is a better friend to Lisa than Lisa is to Angie. And I feel like Angie's finally saying, like, why am I doing this if this girl's going to treat me this way just because I disagree with her on how she's treating my other good friend, Whitney? Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. She's not going after Lisa.
Yeah, that's...
So for Heather to phrase it that way was just, like, so annoying and making a mountain out of a molehill.
Right.
So that bugged me. Heather just bugs.
Yeah, especially because she just doesn't seem to have anything else going on, and she's making everyone else's business her business, and trying to and she's doing it very smugly. I feel like look at me, I'm moving storyline. Like
But we shouldn't see that you're moving storyline. Right. It should just happen. Which let's just skip to the end. Yeah, get back to the other people later. But she set up that group for ziplining because she couldn't invite Whitney or Angie. She couldn't invite Bronwyn because she doesn't like her. Maylee doesn't talk. And Meredith would never go ziplining.
Right.
So she knew that she wanted to like connect Britani to Lisa because she was pissed at her. And she wanted to bring Mary into it because they can talk about Angie.
Right.
In the dance class. So she basically orchestrates all this thing. It all happens. People like, squabble. She sits back and whatever. And then I just love Mary. Words I never thought I would say.
Still,
like, wait a minute, Heather. Why are you all in this? Like, why do all roads lead back to you with your trail of lies?
I think that's where Mary may have made it. I was all on board with whatever Mary was saying until she like really kind of blew it out of proportion with a trail of lies. Because I don't think Heather's lying at all, and that's what Heather's going to latch onto. She's like, right. Well, where's the lie? And it's. What I think Mary could have gotten it better across with just like, you're all up in everyone's business.
You're stirring up drama, like Bren.
Yeah, exactly.
On New York. You're stirring up drama and making things worse than they should be. But it was just funny that Mary just said, and then you lied about the black guy.
Yeah.
And you lie about, body positivity. The black guy thing, that sent me.
Yeah, that was good.
Someone's finally saying it.
What I really liked was when Heather started stuttering because she just couldn't think of... And like, you could kind of tell that I think she's trying to say good things about Angie, but she was just like...
She didn't see it coming. Well, and it was so great because I forgot that she knew Angie before, like, for a while.
Right.
For Mary to bring that up was just like, whoa.
But I think on top of it, it was just like, she's like, Mary asked, like, why aren't you defending Angie more? And Heather kind of turned and had this kind of like had to think about it for a little bit. I think partially because she didn't see it coming, but also partially because she's just like, I don't know. I got the impression she's like, I don't have anything nice to say about Angie. Like, I don't really like her. And so it's hard for me to like find the words right now to seem neutral about it. Like, I think if she was like truly just like, I'm fine with Angie, she would have had no problem. She's like, but the thing with, and I can't remember this.
Well, in the first episode, the stutter was really funny. But the first episode, Heather was saying like, Angie's my girl, but then she's leaving with Whitney and and taking like the wrong side. I think she's fine with Angie to a certain degree. She's really fine with Lisa because Lisa is the popular person, and Heather latches on to the popular person in the group, first Jen and now Lisa. So she's like, I'm gonna like ride hard because that's what she does. She's a ride or die.
Right.
So she's like stirring up all this shit and defending Lisa to the nth degree because that's the horse she's like, I need to pick because fans love Lisa Barlow.
Right. Well, I was also thinking just now, like, do you think Heather has a problem with Angie? Because fans do kind of like Angie, too.
Not to the same No, I just think that Angie just isn't doing exactly what Heather thought she was going to do. Like I fully think that Heather thought that Angie might like, we know because she's so close to Lisa, or was, that she wouldn't swerve it to Whitney in that first episode, and then she did, and it really like took her off guard. Like, no, this is the united front, and we decide what goes. Like, we decided like Monica has to go. We decided we were pissed at Whitney, so why aren't you on board?
Right.
You know, and I think it's just, you know, so now it's become like, why are you mean to Lisa? So
yeah. I agree with you. I'm reminded Meredith wasn't in this episode at all.
No, we saw her. Remember with the whole getting prepared for her bat mitzvah?
Oh, she was in this episode.
That's all we needed. I don't need any more from you.
Yeah.
Go sing, you know.
Yeah, go sing and read the Torah. Yeah. Totally forgot about that.
Because that's forgettable.
Yeah, very forgettable.
Dumb storyline. Not getting a bat mitzvah, but getting a bat mitzvah at whatever age she is.
On a reality
show is bullshit. Whatever. Also bullshit, Britani.
Yeah.
Like.
And Jared.
The
gallery of jewelers.
So much bad jewelry. So weird. Like, I don't understand.
So when he released that statement or the statement or whatever online about how, you know,
basically he invented Britani.
Right.
Like, he took a Regina George stance. I invented her.
Yeah, I was kind of giving him benefit of the doubt, even though a lot of social media was like, what a jerk. What a, you know, I was like, well, I mean, maybe But hearing him talk to her, I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, he was just like, it just sounded controlling 101.
He was talking to her like she was an idiot. He's like, Britani, now you know, blah, 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 and I deserve more than this. And then you gave her your phone, and for her to like read my personal, like, you're in the wrong, Britani, because you let this woman read our personal text.
Right.
Not the fact that my personal text to you were so scumbaggy.
Right.
They're not scumbaggy, but like...
But they weren't the best, you know...
No.
He's not treating her well, and I would agree with that.
And again, they're not really in a relationship, so it's like, in the whole bestie thing, it's a weird situation. I don't understand why he's not claiming her. Like, does he think she's damaged goods? Does he think he can get something better? But she's just...
I don't know. I think that's the thing that rang true about whatever he put on social media originally is I think that they were probably just friends, maybe friends with benefits.
I was going to say, do they have sex?
And they probably. I mean...
She hasn't mentioned that once. Like, it's always like, oh, our friendship and da-da-da. But like, are they sleeping together?
You don't break up with someone 16 times if you're not screwing. I mean...
You would think, but it's a weird relationship.
Maybe they get together and they come like, oh, we're engaged. They have sex and they break up and they're like, oh. That's how they justify it.
Right.
Yeah. The rest of it. Do you think they're just like 53 years old and soaking or something?
Soaking.
They invite Heather Gay over to bounce on the bed. I mean,
ew. I mean, she would. I'm sure Heather's helped with some soaking in her day. And BYU.
Yeah, I get the feeling that they probably were, together and of some sort, but probably not serious. And when she got offered the show, they probably like engineered something. And I think the reason that none of this seems like true is because it's engineered.
It's not cohesive.
Right.
It's just really like, what is happening here?
Right. So I think, probably, and unfortunately, if what we understand is true, she was supposed to be a full-time housewife.
Yes.
But then whatever happened with her stories didn't work out right. I mean, it just goes to show, I think if you try to create something for the show, people will see through it.
Well, it's funny too, because she hammers like she's more than a friend.
Right.
Like, she's got a lot of confessional time. She's got this major story. She's fighting with Mary, and then, I don't know. It just feels like...
Do you know who would know she's just a friend? Bismarcky, he'd know.
Yeah, I don't like that. So, yeah, like, I don't understand...
Yeah,
or her place on the it's just...
I don't think she does either, really, and I think they're just grasping at straws with this. So I don't...
Weird situation.
I'm very happy with what happened at the end, where they're all three like, they just leave us out of it.
Well, and that's another place where I had to like agree, not defend, but like agree, like you're barking up the wrong tree. when she got pissed with Lisa, it's like Lisa didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He was being a jerk to you. Lisa just pointed it out. Like, and also you don't want to go up that road. Like, Lisa's not invested in your relationship.
Well,
like,
and also she at the time liked what Lisa was doing, encouraged it,
Right.
and then she just realized after the fact, after she got chastised by her boyfriend, that it was a bad idea, perhaps.
and also too, the thing that makes me think this isn't totally real. Whenever Brittany has these conversations, it's like she's trying to hold back from laughing because it's so, she's acting.
Right.
Like, Lisa, you shouldn't have done that. And it's like, it's just, I can see the acting.
Yeah.
And I don't totally, yeah.
I don't buy it at all.
Yeah. Whitney, speaking of Lisa Barlow,
yeah.
I fully believe, first of all, for Heather to leave out that part, when she told Whitney that Meredith was talking about her business, that she left out the part that Lisa told Meredith. It's like, girl.
And then just nonchalantly dropped it and just dropped it into the, oh, yeah, no, yeah, she told me. It's like, well, why didn't you
lead with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unless, it also does seem, I don't know, it seems like one of those things that maybe they discussed off camera, and so they just had to bring it on camera. And but like Whitney would have freaked out more.
She was pretty freaked out
at the time. I don't know. She seemed pretty much
like she was just like surprised in a way that was like, wait, I don't think.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that. I thought she was just kind of let that go, because that would have been the perfect opportunity to like, well, now I'm mad at you, Heather, because you didn't tell me, that sort of thing. And the fact that she didn't go down that route maybe is just because it doesn't surprise her that Lisa was involved, and then she wanted to make it more about Lisa.
She was surprised but not surprised, because it's definitely something that Lisa would do, but she just like didn't see it coming.
Right.
But for her podcaster friend to say, that was so dumb.
I know.
Does she have a jewelry line?
Is she a rock, a mineral, or a vegetable?
It's Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like Justin's reaction of like, well, of course.
Right.
Like, of course it's Lisa who's spreading shit about your business.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And I believe it. I believe Lisa is doing it because she's pissed about the dumb podcast that like, there's nobody podcasts. By the way, did you know that Cynthia Bailey and Crystal are getting a podcast?
Crystal Kung Minkoff?
Uh-huh.
Is this another 2 T's in a pod production?
No, no. It's by the same people who produced the Nick Vial podcast, the one that Whitney was on.
Oh.
Yes.
So the two of them together?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
About like reality TV and pop culture and behind the scenes of Housewives and humble brag.
Half of that show will be good. The other half will be kind of boring.
Yeah. Crystal's like so like whatever.
I liked Crystal, but she didn't knock my socks off.
No,
not at all.
Thoughts stayed fully on with Crystal in the room.
Yeah, I always wanted her. Like I enjoyed when she got kind of more up in Anna Marie's face and the
No, the most interesting she ever was in the show was that final season. But It's so funny. They're like, nope, not enough. Bye.
Oh, will her brother make an appearance? I really hope her brother's on the show, because you know what? That just made Crystal...
she will. He will.
Yeah.
Because he's an international pop star.
Yeah. I want to hear more about his relationship with Vivian, and I think that was her name.
It was something like that.
Anyway, I don't know why I retain him. Well, that was my grandma's name.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I retain information like that. But I do. That's interesting. We'll have to... I want to check it out. I mean...
I would definitely check it out. I just, it's... They're both very nice, so I don't know. Maybe they will. Cynthia's very polite,
right?
So I wonder. Not that it's gonna be like a 2 T's kind of like, Yeah,
they're not gonna be like judging or recapping or
right.
But I don't. Yeah,
I don't know.
I need to see more about that before I really.
Cynthia looks like it has a nice soothing voice, so maybe it'd be good for your workout.
I just remember when Cynthia would fill in on 2 T's, she was good, she was adequate, and I liked having her, but she always just seemed like she was a little bit like playing catch up all the time.
Right, because she had never watched OC before, too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she was just like giving opinions that were like, very reasonable, but weren't really getting down to the core of what was going on.
Not the way Erica does.
No, Erica
and Eddie are just so great together.
Very great.
Alexia, we only talk about
No, especially because we managed to have quality sound, and I don't know how Alexia couldn't. She was always sounding like she was
cavernous house.
Cavernous house with she was like talking to the end of one earbud or something. I don't know what was going on with that, but
Bro. Roll.
Yeah.
Before.
At some point, I need to read up onto what's going on with Whitney and the whole MLM thing. I haven't really read into it because I just don't.
Did you see this on Reddit? Was it?
I've seen it on Reddit and on TikTok. I've seen it in different places, and it keeps coming up in ways that I just really don't care.
Right.
Like I just feel like. Well, I think part of it is I think most housewife endeavors feel like a multi-level marketing scheme, like the 3-wick candle. Like that just seems like something, it just seems everything seems a little bit like it's a couple degrees from,
And where are they saying the alleged scheme?
That's what I just don't know, and I just don't care to find out, but I should because I feel like with Whitney's story being everyone questioning the validity of her business,
right?
I feel like it should be something that we, get a little bit better acquainted with. So that'll be my homework. I'll look into that a little bit more. But I don't really care.
I mean,
unless it turns out that he's like, has a sweatshop in Provo or something, and she's making the girls from that other
girls
making them sew her clothes and assemble her jewelry that Lisa Barlow just throws in the trash.
Oh my gosh!
So. But yeah, so you had to look into that. And then the other thing was there was one other thing. It's out of my head now. But yeah. We're good. You're right. It was a good episode. I'm sorry I doubted it. Mary, ziplining was a fun time.
Oh, right. Yes. Heather's dirty face.
I know. Like, no one could have
No one could have wiped you have a makeup. Where do you not have a makeup wipe? Do you not have anything?
Maybe not. They left it all in the car. That's probably what it was.
But she could have hot poo and
Mary could have been motherly and someone could have.
It was just really gross because it was on her lip and on her. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah.
So,
but again, the fact that Mary leg zip lining every week is a surprise. Oh, we didn't talk about
Robert Jr. and how he has a bedroom with his name over the door so he doesn't go into the wrong bedroom at night. Like,
it's a big house.
It is a big house. Which one's going to mine?
And his lifestyle, does she mean? I'm not even gonna. We'll wait for her to tell us. But I was like, I don't understand. Is it because he's just lazy?
The way he mumbles so much, it strikes me, and I don't know anything about it, and it strikes me as though he's she's trying to say without saying that he's a stoner of some sort.
Oh,
but I don't know that that's the case. It seems really weird that she would allow that in her house,
right?
But maybe she's a cooler mom, or she's just accepting. But it does seem that he's always just really, really, too chill. But maybe, I don't know. I could be, I don't want to.
I think
I'm also wondering, does he have a learning disability as well? I don't want to confuse the two because that's a horrible thing to do. But he does seem just, and I don't mean slow in that, the 1980s form of the word. I just mean that he's just seems a little delayed. And that's fine. It's just, I can see her being protective of that.
Right.
And, that's his lifestyle is that, he's not motivated to get out and do it. It's difficult for him to do things, maybe a social anxiety, all these other things that could be amounting to, his behavior that way, not drugs necessarily.
I wouldn't use the word slow, though.
Yeah.
That's problematic.
Okay. But, I mean, it does, yeah.
Slow in the sense that, he's slow to form words because... Well, I don't want to accuse him of being a stoner. No, it's bad being a stoner.
I know. Yeah, no.
Just there's something going on there. And I feel like it's because you see in the trailer that she's very concerned about him. And she says, if something about, if I ever lost you or, I care so much about you. And because, Robert Sr. really isn't in the picture very much on camera, at least.
Well, he won't be on camera because, remember, he's pissed off at Bravo in production.
Not Andy. Yeah. But I think... her son is her world, and she wants to do whatever she can for him. But there's something there that I'm sure she'll address because, again, she's being very open this season, and it's very surprising.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, again, I say all those things. I don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm just conjecturing. I would like to know. I'd be curious to find out. Not that we are owed any answers to what's going on, but Yeah, you want to see him do well and, get a job, apparently. That's what Mary wants for him.
Yes, but she's worried that he won't be able to apply himself.
Right. So that's why it made me think that maybe, he just has some sort of anxiety or some sort of social disorder or something that maybe makes it difficult for him to apply himself. And she, that's...
But then there was the sort of kind of maybe
marriage wife
thing last season. There are a lot of questions here that hopefully we'll get in.
I'm pretty sure when Mary said, yes, I'll come back full time, but I'm not addressing anything that happened in a previous season.
But she got it, huh?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, till next time?
Till next time.
All right.